Welcome to today's video where we'll be talking about one of the most significant policies in the European Union, the Common Agricultural Policy or CAP. In this video I'll explain what the CAP is, its main goals and how it impacts European farmers. Agriculture has always been a critical part of Europe's economy and culture, and it's not just about food, it's about land management, rural communities and the environment. And that's why the CAP was created back in 1962 to support farmers, ensure food security and manage the European agricultural market. Now, more than 60 years later, it continues to shape the way agriculture is practiced across the EU. The CAP is a cornerstone of European policy and it accounts for a large portion of the EU budget. But what exactly are the goals of this policy? At its core, the CAP aims to achieve several key objectives. First, it ensures a stable and secure food supply for European citizens. We all need food, and we need it at reasonable prices. The CAP provides financial support to farmers to make sure that food production remains steady and that prices are not excessively volatile. Second, the CAP aims to ensure a fair standard of living for farmers. Agriculture is a tough job and farmers face various risks, from fluctuating market prices to unpredictable weather conditions. Through direct payments and other financial support, the CAP helps to stabilize farmers' incomes. Third, the CAP seeks to preserve rural communities and landscapes. Farming isn't just about producing food, it's also about maintaining the land. In many regions, agriculture is the backbone of rural economies. By supporting farmers, the CAP also helps to keep rural areas vibrant and populated. And fourth, the CAP plays a significant role in environmental sustainability. Farming practices can have a major impact on the environment, both positive and negative. The CAP has evolved over the years to include measures that encourage farmers to adopt greener practices. This includes reducing the use of harmful pesticides, protecting biodiversity and managing water resources responsibly. And now that we've covered the goals of the CAP, let's talk about its impact on European farmers. One of the most visible effects of the CAP is the direct financial support that farmers receive. These payments, known as direct payments, are a vital part of many farmers' incomes. Without this support, many small and medium-sized farms would struggle to survive in the competitive global market. In fact, for some farmers, these payments make up a significant portion of their revenue. And this financial stability helps farmers plan for the future and invest in their businesses. However, it's not without its critics. Some argue that the system favors larger farms and landowners who receive more substantial payments due to the size of their land holdings. This has led to debates about the fairness of the CAP and whether it disproportionately benefits large agribusinesses over smaller family farms. Another important aspect of the CAP is its focus on rural development. Through various programs, the CAP provides funding for projects that improve infrastructure, encourage innovation, and promote diversification in rural areas. And this can include anything from building better roads to supporting agri-tourism initiatives. For many farmers, especially those in remote areas, these programs are essential for keeping their businesses viable. The CAP has also driven changes in farming practices, particularly in response to environmental concerns. Over the years, the policy has increasingly tied financial support to environmental performance. Farmers are now incentivized to adopt more sustainable practices such as crop rotation, organic farming, and the creation of wildlife habitats on their land. And these environmental measures are crucial, especially in the context of climate change. But implementing them can be challenging for farmers who may need to invest in new equipment or change their long-standing methods. While these practices can lead to long-term benefits, they often require short-term sacrifices. Now, let's talk about how the CAP impacts the EU's global trade relations. Because the EU supports its farmers through the CAP, this can affect how the EU competes in global markets. Critics, especially from outside the EU, argue that CAP creates an uneven playing field by providing subsidies to European farmers. And this can make European products more competitive, sometimes at the expense of farmers in developing countries. It's a delicate balance for the EU as it tries to protect its farmers while adhering to international trade agreements. Another important factor is how the cap affects food prices within the EU. By supporting farmers and stabilizing the market, the cap helps keep food prices relatively affordable. But the system of subsidies and price controls can also distort the market. Some argue that this can lead to inefficiencies or an overproduction of certain goods. And finally, we should consider how the cap has changed over time. As the EU has expanded and societal priorities have shifted, so too has the cap. The cap has undergone several reforms, especially in recent years, to better align with modern challenges like climate change, biodiversity loss, and the need for sustainable farming. These reforms have aimed to make the cap more environmentally focused, more efficient, and more equitable. One of the most recent developments is the shift towards what's called eco-schemes. These are voluntary programs that reward farmers for going above and beyond the basic environmental requirements. By participating in eco-schemes, farmers can receive additional payments for implementing practices like organic farming, improving animal welfare, or protecting natural habitats. And this marks a significant shift in how the cap operates, placing even more emphasis on sustainability. In conclusion, the Common Agricultural Policy is a complex and evolving policy. Its goals to ensure food security, support farmers, preserve rural communities, and protect the environment are essential to the EU's vision for agriculture. The CAP has had a profound impact on European farmers, providing vital financial support and driving changes in farming practices. But like any policy, it's not without its challenges and criticisms. The CAP will continue to adapt in response to new global and environmental challenges. That's why I say thank you for watching for now. And if you found this video informative, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content on important topics like this one. And if you want to see another video right now, the next one is right here in the end screen.